Hello there from Bugeye guys, and this is a very striking, really nicely all new restored Bugeye. But look at that, there's something going on in the shift tower. We have a cup holder, and actually if you look a little closer, we have this little thing down here that looks like an iPhone, and it's actually the indicator for the Tesla batteries that are on board. This is an electric Froggy, an electric Sprite. There's no clue of that until you open this, and you see we have a 220 inlet here, a custom flip-up cap. And we're really proud of this car. This is a long time in the making. It's our third EV and leaps and bounds ahead of the first two that we built. So we're pretty excited about it, and I want to give you a quick tour of why we love this thing and why it's special. So a couple of things. You can see there's a green graph there. You should be able to see that's green, that rectangular box. That's our fuel gauge effectively. It's telling us now that we're at 108 volts. So it's starting down, but basically still full tank, if you will, or full charge. And then here we have a drive, neutral, reverse, and the park brake is on. Of course, with nobody in the car, it's not going to drive away. But the park brake takes new significance with this one. We don't have a park lock, so you need to remember to put the brake on. You should be able to hear there's a coolant pump running, and I'll show you that under the hood in a minute. You can see this gauge here, this volt gauge is reading 14 right above the reverse, neutral, and drive switch. And that's telling us that the low voltage battery that powers the lights is up to charge. And then there's an analog fuel gauge on the left side that's telling us that it's just redundant. It's telling us that the high voltage batteries are fully charged. Here we have the same GPS speedo that we're using on our gas-powered cars. We've gone 131 miles on this. We got a bunch of other nice functions. You can, you have a compass, an altitude, and my max speed at this point is 75, but we'd have no trouble going faster. I went 103 in the last electric car, and I'm sure I could do that much in this one. It's quite quick, and there's no shortage of top speed. And it's all fully restored, so it's a very tight Bugeye. All the suspension is new, and the tires and wheels are new, so going fast in this car is not a problem. But what's interesting to me about this is that it looks and feels and drives very much like a gas-powered Bugeye. We have the motor where the transmission would be, so it's very low and aft and central. We have 3 Tesla batteries under the hood here, 2 more Tesla batteries in the trunk. And we haven't corner weighed this one, but the last one we built was exactly at a 50-50 weight distribution. And this one performs and handles very much the same way. So I'd be surprised if this was any different from that. So basically, we've retained the handling and the feel of an original gas-powered Bugeye and added the electric power to the mix. Now, there are probably plenty of you out there who feel like without an exhaust note, it's a crime to have a Bugeye Sprite, and that's fine. This is just one more option. But what I love about this more than anything, there are 2 big things. First is that it's screaming fast. It goes 0 to 60 in 7.3 seconds. And that's the fastest Bugeye we've ever had. And second, it's basically maintenance free. Of course, you need to still maintain the rear wheel cylinders, and I imagine that you eventually will wear out the tires, and there are still lever shocks in this one, although we have a tube shock conversion available. So some of those things are still maintenance items that in the future, any old British car is going to need attending to. But there's no transmission, no carburetors, no distributor, no wires, no radiator, no water pump, etc., etc. All of these things that we're routinely changing have been eradicated or eliminated, and you still can have a lot of fun with this car just like you would with its gas-powered equivalent. So to my mind, for a customer who calls us looking for optimal reliability and drivability, and doesn't want to get their hands dirty, they want to tinker a little bit, but they really don't want it to be unreliable. This is absolutely the best product we've ever built, and for that, we're superbly excited. Moving under the hood on this Froggy, you can see that we've built a flip forward nose with reinforcements, this X bracing, and it's all freshly restored. So that's a bonus with this car. We started with a brand new restoration, and we can do conversions. We'll get to that in a minute. But you're seeing a lot of old blended with new. That's the original wiper motor, of course, the original master cylinder, but it's sort of a single leg at this point in that it's no longer got a clutch, of course. We have a cutoff switch here that's underneath the dashboard. And this is the fly-by-wire throttle that's actuated by the original accelerator cable. And we have fuses and connectors, and all the high voltage stuff is shielded. We have the original heater box that's fed with an electric heater and a little blower. That white unit just there in the center of your screen is a blower fan that feeds the heater. So you get instant heat, which is really great. You don't have to wait for the water to heat up. And this is a brick of 3 Model S Tesla batteries inside that black box. You have a low voltage 12-volt battery there in the front. It's powering all the low voltage accessories. Over on this side, we have the inverter that steps the juice down from the high voltage pack to the low voltage battery in the front and keeps it charged, sort of like an alternator. And the brains of the operation is here with its own chill plate underneath. There's a coolant pump here that's feeding water and circulating it through the Tesla batteries, which are much higher performance. Here's the brake light switch with its monitor that feeds the computer again so that it can manage the regenerative braking that we have. We still have a beautiful new original wiring harness to feed the taillights and all the other normal 12-volt accessories. So it's very clean, and we've mounted the batteries on the motor mounts. We have a radiator underneath the whole thing. It's tight to fit everything into this space, but it worked out nicely. And behind the seat here, behind the tonneau, we have the charger. You should be able to see the fins there. This is a charger for the low voltage side of things, but that's the charger. And then behind that, there is a towel in the way, but there is another brick of batteries, 2 batteries back there. And of course, coolant lines are running back to feed water or coolant to those batteries as well. And we have no transmission in this, so we're running a direct drive. That helped us save weight and also one less thing to break and leak oil. And other than that, it's your basic Bugeye. The suspension is the same, and it's a modified drive shaft. Of course, all the same vinyl. This is the antenna for the GPS speedo, and we have the turn signals here and the park lights and headlights here. These are LED lights, nice and bright, so that people can see us coming. And LED lights in the gauges as well. You can see how bright the LEDs are and the park lights. And I use those as daytime running lights. And the last thing is that we took a Bugeye horn push and adapted it as a lightning bolt hood emblem. We thought that was fitting for all the electrons that are running around in this thing. And that's a custom signature of this electric project. And so we are happy to build one of these for you. If you're not interested in buying this particular car, we can convert your car. We can convert any of the cars in our inventory. We can build you a car in the colors of your specification and convert it, build it as an electric vehicle. And we can also provide a kit, although I'm reluctant to do that because it's not an easy thing to do. We can do it because we've already worked out the kinks and we have a process in place. But to send these pieces to a hobbyist it's got to be the right hobbyist who's really got a unique skill set, and it's probably easier for us to do these conversions here in-house. I know there are people offering kits. I haven't yet found one that I think that is easy to put together. So we have a hybrid version that we put together here. But if you're interested, it's best to give me a call and we can discuss that here. That's our electric froggy, though, from Bugeye Guys.